The ruling All Progressive Congress APC looks set for the 2023 elections as the party last week appointed Plateau State Governor Simon Lalong to spearhead Bola Tinubu's presidential campaign as Director General. He was appointed alongside the Minister of State for Labour and Employment, Festus Keyamo, as interim spokesperson, and Hannatu Musawa as the deputy spokesperson of the APC presidential campaign. Lalong's appointment was, however, not well received by some of the supporters of the All Progressive Congress in the 6 north-central states, including the Federal Capital Territory, as they staged a peaceful protest in Abuja over his appointment as Director General of the APC Presidential Campaign Council. With some of the members still bitter about the selection of a Muslim vice presidential candidate. Now the question is as if this will in any way affect the preparation ahead of the 2023 elections. So joining us now on the show this morning as we discuss the party's preparation ahead of the 2023 presidential election is Hannatu Musawa, Deputy Spokesperson of the APC Presidential Campaign. Great to have you and congratulations on your appointment. Let's just go straight to it. A lot of people say there's a lot of problem in the APC, obviously, that we cannot run away from. This appointment by Lalong too has caused a lot of problem amidst the myriads of problem, like about close to 15 to 20 states, APC states now, also have problems of parallel, primaries going on, 2 factions fighting. So there's so much infighting. People are saying, can you guys actually, nick this? Can you guys actually do this with all of this infighting?
Good morning, Mr. Rufai, Tundun, and Mr. Efiele. Thank you for having me on your show. Sorry, I apologize. Fulani woman doesn't know how to pronounce anything beyond English and Hausa Fulani. Yes, in politics, this sort of democratic process, it is to be expected that there will be fallout from any primary process. I mean, people go into this whole exercise with aspirations to emerge. And when that doesn't happen, it's only natural that there will be some levels of disenfranchisement. And this is what we're seeing playing out. But as we have said before, the party has set up mechanisms, internal mechanisms, to try to be able to work through those problems. And by the grace of God, hopefully, I think we're really making strides in trying to reach out to all the parties that were disenfranchised as a result of the outcome of this process. And I think we're making a lot of headway. And I think by the time the election comes, we will be one house united.
Right. Warm congratulations to you, Hannatu. I'm delighted for you. I'm going to leave the down ballot elections for a second and just focus on the presidential elections and the dust that was raised with the Muslim ticket and what have you. How is it looking for the presidential ticket? Because the general perception is that even though there are factions within the party across the states, those factions are all in support of the presidential ticket. Is that the nuanced position that exists?
Sorry, can you repeat the last part of that question?
The reports indicate that even though there are factions within the party across the states, all those factions are actually in support of the presidential ticket at the top across the party. Is that the case?
Yes, if I get your question, because I couldn't hear it very well. I think, there's bound to be factions. The fact that the candidacy is made of a Muslim duo, it's only expected that there would be some level of contempt or protest within the party structure. However, I think within the party so far, we have been able to reach out to all those who had reservations as to why the presidential candidate picked a Muslim running mate who bringing up a Muslim ticket. And we've been able to explain to them the reason why Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu was compelled to choose Alhaji Kashim Shettima as his running mate. And we hope that once we are done with that within an internal structure, we'll be able to reach out to the general public, because there seems to still be some sort of skepticism, specifically from the Christian community, as to why a Muslim ticket is presented on the APC.
Right,
but we hope that we will be able to communicate
I wanted to try again if you could hear me. I was saying that even though they're factions, the presidential ticket is actually a unifier within the party. All those factions seem to agree on the presidential ticket. So that was the first question. I was trying to establish that first, if you could confirm that first. And then secondly, if that is the case, what role?
Yes.
Right,
Absolutely.
okay. So what role are the presidential candidate and the running mate playing to unite those factions?
Oh, the presidential candidate, first of all, yes, it is a unifier. To be honest with you, this, the individuals that have come out of this process, which is the Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu and Kashim Shettima, even within the structure of the APC, are very respected members of the party. The combination of the duo has been able to unify the party from within. And the aspirant and his running mate are taking a very active role on trying to reach out to people on the outside of the party to try to see if we can bring them on board, for them to understand why it is necessary for us to support the both of them, despite the fact that it is a Muslim ticket in a secular country.
Okay, going forward in these your campaigns, talking to the neutrals, they will tell you that the APC in 7 years and counting has not met the aspiration of many Nigerians. Insecurity, the economy in shambles, debt ridden, borrowing to pay salaries, huge amount subsidizing petroleum. What will you be campaigning on? How do you navigate around these obvious shortcomings which Nigerians have noticed in the APC in the last 7 years and counting?
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, despite the general feeling in the country, the administration has been able to record some gains. And we hope as a campaign we'll be able to consolidate on those gains. And in the areas that the administration has had challenges, we want to be able to employ sort of diverse tactics and bring out different measures in order to see how we will be able to present programs that will be able to eradicate Nigeria from some of those vulnerabilities that we can see playing out within this administration. But we really do hope to consolidate on the gains. But like I said, with the challenges, we will come out with diverse tactics as to how an Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu presidency and Kashim Shettima will be able to tackle them effectively.
Just as a follow-up to that, don't you think Nigerians will want to hear what Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu would do differently on insecurity, on bringing the economy back? So what about your program? To do things differently.
But that's what I'm saying to you. Yes, that's what exactly, and that's what I said, that on the challenges, we will have to employ diverse tactics. By the time that we unveil our manifesto and our policy framework for what we suggest for Nigeria, you will see that there will be answers to those areas that this present administration has has been a challenge for them. But on the areas that there have been gains, we will consolidate on them. But not every single area that has been found wanting within this administration, Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu will come up with a program that will be able to address that in the right and appropriate manner.
Okay, we'll go for a quick break and we'll come back to Hannatu. Okay, welcome back to the morning show right here on the Rise News channel. Apologies about that. We still have Hannatu Musawa, Deputy Spokesperson of the APC presidential campaign. Hannatu, I was asking before we went on that break, would you proudly campaign on the Buhari administration record? And what are those records you campaign on? That's one. Number two, still on the infighting in your party. There are strong indications that the Northwest governors are not happy about, the running mate of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that's former Governor Shettima, and saying the fact that nobody was picked among the Northwest governors, and they wanted somebody among the governors, but it wasn't picked. And your campaign doesn't, so this is what they say, all right? So this is what people are saying in political quarters, that is not giving your campaign the much needed fillip it needs in the Northwest. And they're saying people like Nasir El-Rufai might not be on board What's your take about that? But the first question is, would you proudly campaign on the Buhari administration record and legacy?
Okay, can I take the second question first?
Yes, please.
So on the second question, I come from Katsina State, which is the northwest of Nigeria, and I can guarantee you all this innuendo, all this speculation that the Northwest is not happy with the pick of Kashim Shettima is absolutely not correct. It is absolutely false. The northern governors are absolutely united. Of course, maybe some of them have certain aspiration to emerge as a vice presidential candidate, but only one person was ever going to be chosen, and it happened to be Alhaji Kashim Shettima. And what we have to our advantage with him emerging as a vice presidential candidate is that Alhaji Kashim Shettima as a person is a very, very, he's a very loved figure. A very loved northern figure. He's one of the northern leaders that has been recognized to have performed while he was governor in Borno State. He's a unifier. So the North is absolutely together on this, and I can tell you this from a position of knowledge because I come from Katsina State and I'm very much in touch with the grassroots. I travel there every single week. I go through Kaduna, I go through Kano, I go through Katsina, and honestly on the ground there's such an energy about the fact that Kashim Shettima was the one that was picked. And the North is the North. The way that our people see ourselves is as one North. And that's the way the electorate, we hope, are going to see the emergence of, and I don't think there's any governor, including the one that you mentioned, that is revolting within the party. All of them are united in support for this duo. And on the first question, I think you asked about whether we were going to campaign on the achievements or otherwise of the Buhari administration. As I had mentioned earlier, we will consolidate on those gains. And of course, while there must be some complaints about the administration, there are very many areas that there have been a lot of gains in the area of infrastructure. I know people talk about infrastructure, and what I will say may come out and sound slightly trite, but I guess one has to say it. It will reach out maybe to another audience. In the area of infrastructure, this government has done very well despite the paucity of funds, despite dwindling resources. In the area of agriculture, I think one of the main thrusts of this government was to try to add to agriculture, to try to increase food security. And I think it's done a lot, it's done lots of interventions in that regard. It has increased livestock production, wheat cultivation, areas like that. You look at the social investment program. Under the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, the minister, Hajia Sadia Umar Farouk, has done a fantastic job. Specifically during the COVID pandemic, the social investment program has opened programs such as the conditional cash transfer, such as a school feeding program that have opened way for a lot of vulnerable people within the society. So there are areas that we'll be able to consolidate on, to bring on to our campaign. Now, the other areas that we have had some challenges, there's no doubt that there have been some challenges, and it would be an injustice to us and to the Nigerian population to pretend that there have not been any challenges. But like I said, Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu and Kashim Shettima are going to try to look at those challenges and try to bring up different programs that will be able to address it in the different ways. And I just want to make another point when it comes to judgment of the government. You know, I have a personal philosophy, which is that on the road of success, you're bound to have challenges and problems. And, you know, sometimes it's easy to, as human beings, we look at things in the now, and rightfully so, because we all live it. We're all living through this terrible situation of insecurity and so many other challenges that Nigeria are having. But, you know, sometimes when it comes to judgment of government, that can be short-sighted, because history will not judge us on the hot takes. History has the benefit of hindsight. And I think with that benefit of hindsight, posterity may be able to judge this government a little bit less harshly than some of the exacting critics of now. So when all this partisan prattle is over, maybe you will find that posterity will look at this government not to have done as badly as some of the more harsh critics would have been able to judge it on.
Okay, Anatu, real quickly, you talked about state of play, infrastructure being done. I'd like to ask you this, as a quick follow-up. Do you think the government has done everything they could have done as regards the state of the economy in Nigeria? And what would you score the economy?
Of course. No, I'm not going to score the economy. I'm not an economist. If you ask me a legal question, I'll do that. Of course, there have been challenges with the economy. There's no doubt about that. And like I said, we are running a campaign, an honest campaign, and we're going to be honest with Nigerians. There have been areas that we could have done better in terms of the economy. But even at that, we have to also take into consideration that, the global economy is sort of still trying to recover from, or rather the Ukraine war, has upended the very fragile resurgence from the pandemic. And as a result of that, it has resulted in sort of a global crisis all over. So Nigeria is not the only one that is going through some sort of economic challenge. But I think my friend, the director, the spokesperson, the learned SAN, Festus Keyamo, said that he had mentioned in an earlier interview that if you put Nigeria on a scale with macroeconomic realities, you'll find that Nigeria may have not done as badly as many other countries. And we hope that with the administration of Ahmed Bola Tinubu and Kashim Shettima, we'll be able to do a lot better, or to continue where this government has stopped and to try to build the economy in the more positive way, in the way that Nigerians need.
Right, Hannah, you referred earlier to the unveiling of the manifesto. When will that be, and what has taken so long? We all know the presidential campaign starts next month, but we also know that the starting pistol actually sounded after the presidential primary. Right now, we don't have much to go on in terms of policy direction, which is why the conversation, unfortunately, has been focused on personality, background, health, age, and what have you, rather than concrete issues.
Yes, I think it's very important for us to unveil the manifesto, and we are looking forward to that. We want to move the conversation away from the religious, this Muslim aspect, and like you said, all the other issues that are coming up around it. Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu is a man that was ready from day one. He has worked towards this objective and goal for a long time, so he has had a manifesto already on the table. At the moment now, he is working with a high-powered team to try to tweak it, to try to apply it to the Nigeria, to the evolving dynamic that Nigeria of today. And very, very soon, you will have that manifesto. Will be able to present it to you, because what we want is to run a campaign based on issues, no mudslinging. All this back and forth is not necessary. We want to be able to reintroduce the Nigerian electorate to Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Kashim Shettima and the programs that they have and the vision that they have for the nation. So we are hopefully very soon going to unveil this manifesto, and I think Nigerians will be able to understand and really see through the eyes of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu how he hopes to move this country forward in the most positive way.
Okay,
I'll be back on the show to share that with you.
Okay. I ask my next question as a defender of women. Tundu can confirm that here. Now, are you satisfied with the way your party and parties generally have treated women? No female governorship candidate. I've not heard of even a female running mate. I stand to be corrected on that. 35% affirmation.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Are you satisfied with the state where women are in Nigerian politics today?
Absolutely not. I mean, that is just a very honest question. I'm not. In my opinion, we should have at least 50%, not 35%. And I would like to correct you. There is a female governorship candidate, and it happens to actually come from the north. Binani from Adamawa is the APC gubernatorial candidate in APC in Adamawa State. And in Kaduna State, you have Dr. Hadiza. She's the running mate. There's quite a number of women, actually, who, even within and outside the party, have been able, and many women all across the party have gotten tickets for House of Reps, for senators. So I think there has been a bit of development in that regard, even though it can be better. But in that regard, again, I would like to say, you can see from all the appointments that have been made thus far, APC is the only one that has actually brought out a woman in myself, and I'm sure other parties will do in the constitution of their campaign council or structures. But so far, APC is the only one that has seen it fit to choose a woman. So I urge all women out there to follow suit and to support Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu and Kashim Shettima, because they see worth in women. They see the worth in electing a Hausa Fulani herdswoman from the rural part of Katsina State to be a deputy spokesman of this great party.
Well, thank you so much for your time this morning, Hannatu.